Good afternoon, students. Yesterday we started with Act 3, Scene 1, and we did till here. This when Miranda reveals her name, and then all of a sudden she realizes that she was instructed by her father not to do so. Right? So she kind of disobeyed her father's instructions. As far as I remember, we did till here. So Miranda says, Miranda, what is your name? That was asked by Ferdinand. Miranda says, Miranda. Oh, my father, I have broke your rest, you say so. Then she all of a sudden realizes that she has disobeyed her father's instructions. She has gone against her father's instructions in revealing her name. So she realized, Hess means command. So I have disobeyed my father's command in telling you my name. So then Ferdinand says, admired Miranda, indeed the top of admiration. Worth what's dearest to the world. Full many a woman I have eyed with best regard. So he says that you are the most wonderful Miranda. You are the most admired Miranda. Right? Top of admiration means you are the most admired. You are the most you are standing, you occupy the top position as far as admiration is concerned. You are sitting at the summit of all the wonderful things, right? Worth what's dearest to the world. So you are worthy of all that is dearest to the world, all that is most precious, all that is most worthy to the world. You deserve the best things in the world. You deserve the most worthy things in the world, the most precious things in the world. Why? Because you yourself are sitting at the summit of admiration. You yourself are such a wonderful creature. You are the most wonderful creature, and so you deserve all the valuable and all the precious things of this world. Full many a lady I have eyed with best regard. So he says that there are many women that I have looked upon with careful attention. Eyed upon means that I have paid attention. I have paid attention. I have paid careful attention to several women till now. And many a time the harmony of their tongue hath into bondage brought my too diligent ears. So he says, and there have been several times. This is what he's telling Miranda, that many a time in the past I have met women who were very attractive and who were able to capture my careful attention. I have paid attention to many women in the past, and many a time the harmony of their tongue. The harmony of their tongue means the sweetness of their tongue. And this has also been in the past. This also happened in the past, that the sweetness of their tongue, the sweetness of their voice hath into bondage brought my too diligent ears. Too diligent ear means too attentive ears, right? So bondage means attracted. So I was attracted. My ears became very attentive to the sweet voice of many women. There were many women in the past whom I met, and their voice was so sweet, their voice was so melodious, so harmonious, that I was attracted towards them. For several virtues have I liked several women. And then there were several women, there were many women whom I liked because of their several good qualities which they possessed, because of their several virtues. Virtues means good qualities. So, because of their very positive traits which they possessed, I have liked several women in the past. Never any with so full soul. So, he says, but though I was attracted to several women, though I was attentive to several women in the past, but none of them was able to capture my full devotion. No full soul, with so full soul means with full devotion. My entire devotion, that I was not able to give to anyone. Though I was attracted towards them, though I was attentive towards them, there were women with sweet voice, there were women with wonderful virtues, and I got attracted towards them, but not with so full soul. But some defect in her did quarrel with the noblest grace she owed. Why? because there was always some kind of defect in those women, right? They had great qualities. They were virtuous women, but because of that one weakness, because of their one drawback, because of their one flaw in their character, because of that one defect in their character, what happened? Did quarrel with the noblest race Shion. Shion means did quarrel was against the noblest qualities she possessed. Means I was able to find one single defect and one single flaw which nullified all the good qualities which were possessed by these women. Right? They were no doubt virtuous women. There were women with sweet voice, but there was some or the other defect in their character that nullified all the good qualities. That went against. Quarrel means did quarrel with the noblest race. Shion means that went against all the noble qualities which they possess, all the virtuous things which they possess, and put it to the foil. And put it to the foil means and made them defective. Right? So foil means defect. But you, oh you, so perfect and so fearless. So Ferdinand is praising Miranda. He says, but you are the only woman who is so fearless. Fearless means matchless. So perfect. I am not able to find a single defect, a single flaw in you. You are matchless. You are beyond comparison. You are perfect. Are created for every creature's best. And you seem to possess the best virtues of all creation, of all the women on this earth. You seem to be the best. You seem to be the matchless one. And you seem to be perfect. Miranda, I do not know of one of my sex. No woman's face safe from my glass, my nose. So she says, what does Miranda have to say? See, you mark this speech of Ferdinand as important, right? The one which we did just. This is how he praises Miranda. Miranda says, I do not know one of my sex. So I don't know any women. One of my sex means Miranda was a woman, so she is talking about other women. She says that I have not seen from the time I gained consciousness, from the time I grew up, right? So from the time I acquired some sense, I have not seen, I don't know of any women, any other women, no woman's face remember, save from my glass, my nose. And I remember only one woman's face, and that is my own, from my glass. I recognize myself because I look myself in the mirror. So the only woman which I have seen is I, me, myself, and that too in the mirror. Right? Glass here means the mirror. When I look myself in the mirror, then I see a woman, and who is that woman? I myself. My own. So this is the only woman's face which I am aware of. Safe from my glass means except my own. Nor have I seen more that I may call men than you, good friend, and my dear father. And then she says, and forget about the women. I don't know of any women besides myself because I have only seen my face in the mirror, and there is no other woman on the island. So obviously I don't know of any women. I don't recognize anyone. And as far as men are concerned, nor have I seen more than I may call men than you. So, and if I talk about men, then my good friend, my dear friend, I have not seen anyone besides you and my dear father. I know only two men on this earth, and one is my father, the other one is you. How features are abroad. I am skillless. So he says that how features are abroad, what is the physical form of other men, how other men look like. I am skillless. I am skillless means I don't have any clue. I am completely ignorant of this fact. I don't have any idea how do other men and women they look like. Right? In the world outside this island, what is the physical form of other men? What is the appearance of other men? I don't have any idea. Skillless means I am ignorant, clueless. But by my modesty, the jewel in my door, I would not wish any companion in the world but you. So she says, but though the fact of the matter is that I don't know of any other man besides you and my father, but still, I want to say, I'm swearing, I'm taking an oath, I'm swearing upon my modesty. Modesty means my chastity, my purity. I am swearing by my purity, the jewel in my door, which is the greatest, which is the most precious jewel in my of all my possessions, of all the things which I own. Right? See, the purity of woman was considered to be the most precious thing, which can be owned by any woman. So that is what she is saying. That my modesty means my chastity, my purity, which is the most valued of all my possessions, which is the most precious of all my possessions. I am swearing by that. And what is the oath which he is taking? I would not wish any companion in the world but you. I don't want any other man in the world. I know I haven't seen any other man, but still, I don't want to see any other man. I don't want any other man as my companion, as my life partner in this world except you. Nor can imagination form any. And my imagination, you are the only one who are there, who is there in my thoughts. Even in my thoughts, even my imagination cannot form any other image, form the image of any other man except you. So, nor can imagination form a shape besides yourself. So, you are the only one who is present in my thoughts, and you are the only one whom I want as my companion, whom I want as my life partner to like of. So, even in my imagination, I cannot think of any other man like you. But I prattle something too wildly, and my father's precepts are therein. So all of a sudden, she realizes that she is talking too freely. See, in Merchant of Venice also, you read, when Bassanio goes to Belmont, then also she starts talking, and then she realizes that it is not considered something good for a woman to talk so freely, right? It's like not a very modest thing to do. So here also, after speaking this much, so much, Miranda realizes that she is talking too freely. But I prattle something too wildly. Wildly means without logic. I am going on talking. Whatever I am talking is not making sense, right? Half the things are illogical. Whatever I am saying, and my father's precepts are therein too. And I have almost forgotten my father's instructions, my father's teaching. I was instructed by my father, I was commanded by my father not to meet you, not to talk to you, and see, I'm talking to you so freely without restraint, like so widely I am talking to you, and it seems that I have forgotten all my father's teachings and all my father's instructions. Ferdinand, I am in my condition, a prince Miranda. I do think a king. I would not so. So Ferdinand says, this is the first time they are talking to each other. Earlier, their father was present and he was busy in taking Ferdinand as a spy and then imposing some punishment upon him. Right? So they didn't get much opportunity to talk to each other when they during their first encounter. They didn't get much opportunity to talk. And Miranda was busy convincing her father not to punish such a noble and a handsome looking man. Right? Because such a handsome man cannot have anything evil inside him. So, this is actually the first time that they are given an opportunity to talk to each other and to know about each other. So till this time, they don't know anything about each other. They have just fallen in love at first sight. So Ferdinand says, I am in my condition a prince, Miranda. He says that, let me tell you, in my condition means in this worldly state. My worldly status is of a prince. The world recognizes me as a prince, Miranda. I do think a king. I would not. And what I feel is that now I am the king. Because what he believes is that his father is dead. So he says that till now the world knew me as a prince. My worldly state was that of a prince. My worldly status was that of a prince. And I suppose that now I am the king rather than being the prince. Why? Why so? Because he feels that King Alonso is dead. He has been drowned. So I would not so. I would not so means though I actually don't want to think so. Right? I wish that I still remain the prince. I strongly wish that I am not the king. I should not be the king. Why? Because then there is hope of his father being alive. Right? His father is alive, then only he will remain the prince. His father is dead, then he will become the king. So that is what he says. I do think a king. What I think is that now I am a king. I would not so. Though I don't wish it so, though it is not my desire, but still that is what seems to be the reality at this moment. Is there any? Okay, so we can move further. I would not so, and would no more endure this wooden slavery than to suffer the flesh fly below my mouth. And he says that because of the fact that I am a prince, right, I am not going to tolerate this wooden slavery. This wooden slavery means the slavery which I am doing of carrying wood, of carrying logs from one place to another. I would have not tolerated this by the virtue of my worldly state, by the virtue of the position which I occupy in this world. I would have not tolerated this job of carrying or this job of carrying wood from one place to another. So that is the meaning of wooden slavery. It's carrying the logs of wood. Than to suffer the flesh fly below my face. As I would never tolerate a fly buzzing on my face, right? That would be so. So this job is as irritating to me as the flesh fly blowing on my face and troubling me, buzzing on my face and troubling me. So I won't even allow a flesh fly to buzz on my face. Forget about this job. So why am I doing this? He's actually trying to explain Miranda the reason why he accepted this job of carrying the wood, such a menial task of carrying the wood. Here my soul speaks. The very instant that I saw you, I am the type of person who would never allow a flesh fly to blow upon my face. So don't even think that I would do the job of carrying wood. So hear my soul speak. And so he further says that now I want you to listen to what is in my heart, what I feel for you, what my heart wants to tell you. So kindly listen to my heart. The very instant that I saw you, did my heart fly to your service. So he says that the very moment I saw you, what happened? My heart flew away at your service. My heart became your slave. Right? The moment I got sight of you, the moment I saw you, at that very moment, my heart became your slave. There resides to make me slave to it. And now, because my heart has become your slave, my heart is at your service. So obviously, I will also become your servant. So my heart, which immediately flew to your service, has made me a slave to it. So I have also become your slave, and there resides to make me slave to it. And for your sake am I this patient clock. and it is just for you. It is just for your sake, because I want to be with you, because I want to behold you, because I want to look you. I want to be somewhere near you. So it is just because of you that I am doing this job like a logman. Like a logman means the person who carries log. So it is just because of you. You are the only reason why I accepted this task of carrying logs. Miranda, do you love me? Miranda asked, do you really love me? Now Ferdinand calls all the heaven and earth to be the witness. O heaven, O earth, bear witness to this sound and crown what I profess with kind even, if I speak true. So Ferdinand says that I want the heaven and the earth, like you must have seen in the television also. Heaven and earth be a witness to what I say, especially in all the mythological. So he is also talking like that. So, oh heaven and earth, he is making the heaven and earth both a witness to what he is about to say. This sound means what he wants to say, what he wants to confirm, right? So he says that heaven and earth, you will be a witness to what I am going to say now, to what I am going to utter now, and crown what I profess. And please reward me according to my sincere feelings. Whatever I deserve, whatever my true feelings deserve, you please reward me accordingly. What kind event if I speak true? If I speak true. So please do reward me with a favorable result to this thing, which is to this great feeling which I am having at the present moment. What will be the favorable result? Favorable result will be the marriage of Ferdinand to Miranda. So he says that please do reward me. Crown here means to give the reward. So please do reward me with a favorable result if I am speaking the truth. If my feelings are pure for this lady, then please do crown them with a favorable result. If hollowly invert what best is boded me to mischief. He says that if I speak hollowly, if hollowly means insincerely, if there is insincerity, if my feelings are false, if I am not true, if I am not speaking the truth to this lady, invert what best is boded me to mischief. Then invert means change, right? So please change whatever is best boded me to mischief. So please change all my fortune, all the good things which I have in my fortune, all the good things which are guaranteed to me in my future. Please change them into bad. All the good things, boded me means which are stored, which are there and stored in my future. Kindly invert them. Kindly change them to misfortune. If I am not speaking the truth, if I am lying, if there is any kind of insincerity in my affection towards this lady, if my affection is not true, if my affection towards this lady is not pure, then I want the heaven and earth to kindly change all my to change my good fortune into misfortune, to change my luck into misfortune, beyond all limit of what else in the world. Do love, prize, honor. So he confesses his love for Miranda. He says that beyond all limit of what else in the world. So beyond everything which exists in this world, more than everything which exists in this world, above all the things which belong to this world, I love you, I prize you. Prize you means value you, and I respect you, I honor you beyond anything else in this world. So you are the most prized, most valued, and the most loved and honored possession which I have. Miranda, I am a fool to weep at what I am glad of. So Miranda started crying when she heard these words of Ferdinand. She started crying, and then she says that I am such a big fool to cry over something which should make me happy. If you love someone and the other person also expresses his love towards you, this is something to be happy about. But what Miranda started doing, she started weeping. And then she realizes and she says that I am really such a stupid creature, such a foolish creature to cry over something about which I should actually be happy, with which I should actually rejoice. So Prospero aside. Now Prospero, I told you, was present there, and he was not visible to Ferdinand and Miranda. So he was standing in one corner, and when he saw this, he became very happy, and he says, "Fair encounter of two most rare affections." Fair encounter means it is such a lovely and such an auspicious meeting of two most rare affections, of two people who are deeply in love, right? Of two people, and this depth of love, this real love is something which is very rare. So this is really an auspicious meeting between two people who are so much and so truly, so purely in love with each other. Heavens rain grace on that which breathe between them. So then he asks the heavens, he requests the heavens to bless. Rain grace means give the blessings on that which breathes between them. What is that? That is the love, right? That is used for love. On that which breeds between them means on the love which breeds between them, on the love which grows between them, which is developing, which is trying to grow between them. So I request the heavens to bless their love, to shower its blessings on these two lovers who are so deeply, purely in love with each other. Any problem? So Ferdinand, fear of weeping. Now Ferdinand thought that what's wrong with Miranda? Why has she started crying? And so he asked that why are you crying? Right? What is the reason? So Miranda says, at my unworthiness, that dare not offer what I desire. So Miranda tells Ferdinand that I am weeping because of my worthlessness. I think myself to be unworthy. Right? Why? Because I dare not offer what I desire to give. Because I cannot present you whatever I want to give you. There is something which I want to give you. I desperately want to give you, but I cannot, I dare not do it. So I want to bestow something upon you, and I cannot do so. And much less talk what I shall, and much less take what I shall die to. And I cannot take something from you without which I will almost die, right? Something which is so valuable for me that I am ready to die for it. I want that thing from you, but still I dare not take it. There is something which I want to give you and I cannot give you, and there is something which I want so badly from you that I'm ready to even die for it, but still I cannot take that. So I'm crying because of this situation in which I am, and much less take what I shall die to. But this is trifling. So then she says, but all this talk which I am doing, that is just a pretension, right? This is all idle talk. Now she's coming directly to the point. So this is all idle talk, like Portia did. You remember, right? So similarly, she is also, after having said all these things, she said that this is just an idle talk. This is just something which I am pretending. That is not the reality. And then she decides to talk properly and clearly. And she says, and all the more it seeks to hide itself, the bigger bulk it shows. And the more I am trying to hide, what is she trying to hide? Her feelings for Ferdinand, right? Her love for Ferdinand. Because the women in those days, they were not allowed, it was not considered as something good to go and talk freely about their love for someone. That, hey, listen, I really love you a lot. They were not supposed to go out and talk like this. So it was not considered as a good grooming. So that is what she says, that the more it seeks to hide itself, the bigger bulk it shows. And the more I am trying to hide it, the more I try to hide, to conceal that feeling, the more it is showing itself, the more it is coming out, the more obvious it is becoming. Hence bashful cunning, and prompt me plain and wholly innocent. So she says that hence now I've decided to shed off this false modesty, right? This false modesty which I am trying to show you, right? Which is just something which I am pretending, which is far from the reality, and prompt me plain and wholly innocent. So now I am going to do away with this. I am going to give way, and then I am going to give way to the plain and holy innocence, to the simple and sacred innocence. So whatever I am going to tell you now, those are the pure feelings of my heart. Those are the plain, very clearly said feelings of my heart. I have pretended a lot. I have done all this idle talk a lot, right? That I want to give you something which I cannot give, and I want to take from take something from you which I cannot take. So enough of this nonsense. Now I am going to talk in plain and clear terms, and I am going to express my purest, holiest, and sacred feelings, which are really very innocent to you. So I've decided to shed off all this bashful cunning, that is false modesty, which I was doing till now. I am your wife if you will marry me. So she says that if you will marry me, if you agree to marry me, then I will be your wife. This is what I want from you. I want you to be your wife if you decide to marry me. If not, I'll die on me. And if you decide against it, if you don't want me as your wife, then I will die your maiden. Means I will not marry anyone else. I'll remain unmarried and I'll keep on loving you till the end of my life. To be your fellow, you may deny me. So she says that it is your will whether to accept me or not as your wife. You may deny me as your companion. You may deny me as your life partner. You may refuse to make me your life partner. You may deny me. You may deny me means you may refuse me. But I'll be your servant whether you will or not. But you cannot refuse me. You cannot deny me to be your servant. I will always remain your servant till the end of my life. Whether you want it or whether you don't want it, I will always be your servant. This is something which you cannot refuse me. This is something which you cannot deny me. You can deny me from becoming your wife, from becoming your companion, from becoming your life partner. But you cannot deny me from becoming your slave and servant. That I will do till the end of my life. Ferdinand, my mistress dearest. So he says that you will be my mistress and my dearest mistress. So means you will be my wife. This is what he means to say. So you will be my most loved, dearest wife. And I thus humble ever. And I will be your most humble servant. Ever means forever. I promise you that I will be your most humble servant till the end of my life, and you will be my most dearest mistress. Miranda, my husband then. So she asks that, then are you ready to be my husband? So will you be my husband then? This is final. So Ferdinand says, hey, with a heart as willing as bondage ever of freedom, here's my hand. He says that with a heart as willing, as readily. My heart desires it so much as a bondage ever of freedom. As a slave desires freedom. What is the most desired thing for a slave? Freedom. So, my heart desires to make you my wife as much as a slave desires to have his freedom. Here's my hand. So, then he gives his hand to Miranda as a pledge, as a promise that he promises. He's promising Miranda that, yes, I agree to be your husband and I am I'll be very happy to be your husband. Right? I am very willing to be your husband. Miranda, and mine with my heart in it. So Miranda also stretches her hand forward and she says, and this is my hand. I also promise you, and my heart, I'm not only offering you my hand, think that my heart is also offered to you along with my hand. So I'm offering you my hand and pledging as a pledge with my heart in it. So this is don't take it to be just my hand. I'm giving you my heart also along with this hand. And now farewell. Till half an hour hence. So half an hour hence means from now. So now tata bye bye. Farewell. We'll meet after half an hour from now. Ferdinand, 1,000,000. So 1,000,000 means 1,000,000 farewells to you. So, exile Ferdinand and Miranda, civility. So now they separately go away from that place. Prospero, so glad of this as they I cannot be. So Prospero was listening to all these things and he is very happy now and he says that I know I cannot be as happy as they are, right? Because they are in love, they are the lovers, so obviously they will be very happy about it. So I know that so glad as this as they I cannot be. So it is not possible for me to be as happy, to be so happy as these two people who are actually in love are at the present moment. So I cannot be as happy as them, who are surprised with all, but my rejoicing at nothing can be. So he says, why are they so happy? Because first thing is that they are in love and they are also happy with the surprise and the sudden development which happened just now. Till now, what happened? Only Miranda was in love. Now, after this meeting, she came to know that Ferdinand is also in love. And the promise which they have made to each other, that was the sudden development. They didn't plan it. That happened suddenly. Right? So, this is what Prospero says, that they are the happiest creature now. Why? Because both of them are in love and they are even more happy because of the sudden development and the sudden change of events which took place. So the thrill and the surprise which they received just now. So this is why they are very happy. But at nothing can be more. But my rejoicing at nothing can be more. So he says, I know I am not as happy as they are. I cannot be as happy as they are, even if I want. But I cannot be, but my rejoicing at nothing can be more. But there is nothing in this world which can make me happier than seeing these two people fall in love with each other. Right? But this is the greatest happiness which I can have, which I can feel on seeing, and that is on seeing these two people fall in love. So nothing can make me more happy than making them fall in love. That is making Ferdinand and Miranda fall in love. I'll to my book, for yet ere supper time must I perform much business ahead. So he says that now I should go back to my books. Move to my books means to my magic books. I should go back and study my magic books. I have to attend to my magic books. Why? Because before supper time, it means before. So before supper time, I have to perform some important business. Some necessary and important things are to be done before supper time. And so I should go and attend to my books, attend to my magic books. And so after this, he also leaves the stage. And with this, we come to the end of Act 3, Scene 1.